This is Joan.
I told you, has a great air game. Went to the alley-oop and stuck it too. You have got to be kidding me. One of the greatest airs you'll see in surfing competition. Wow.
Joel Vaughan, great to see you. So stoked that you're going to be on tour next year representing Australia, yourself, your family on the championship tour. Dream come true, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I'm so stoked. Still pretty, I don't know, like it doesn't really still feel real yet. So I'm just kind of excited and I'm starting to get ready, doing some training. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked.
I mean, you think about it, when you got the news that you qualified back in Saquarema, there's been some time, to run into friends, take phone calls, interviews like this, just all the anticipation into the start of something really big. How have you been handling that build-up so far?
To be honest, I just trying to enjoy it, just really take it all in, and I've kind of just been working my whole competitive life to be on the tour. So yeah, I want to try to enjoy it as much of it as I can, and let's just try to keep it pretty simple. And yeah,
first contest ever, where was it and how'd you do?
I don't know. I think my first WSL contest was a pro junior when I was about 12, and I got knocked first heat, and then I think one of my very first contests was just like a local maybe board riders event, getting pushed in on the foamy by Dad, and I probably got beaten there too, I think.
Proud of your board riders, North Shelley?
Yeah, very proud of my board riders. They've been such huge support to myself and my family, and yeah, it's just such a great community they have. I'm just stoked to be a part of that community, and yeah, it's really cool. I actually just went to Abu Dhabi with Molly, and she's a part of the board riders too, and yeah, it's so sick to just have someone like that on tour and that I've kind of grown up with, and is a part of the board riders as well, so it's pretty sick.
What were those conversations like with Molly, just talking about the tour? I mean, she's had so much success as well representing your part of the world.
Yeah, it was just pretty cool. Just, I don't know, we both grew up like surfing together, and like she used to live like 500 meters down the road, so I'd run up the hill to where she lives and we'd run down to the surf and go surf most afternoons after school, and so we're kind of just, I guess, reminiscing about that and how we've both, I guess, like made it onto the tour and how different it is, but like how cool it'll be like this year, and yeah, just kind of enjoying it and having a hell time. We were in the pool and we were just laughing and just like so stoked to just be surfing together. So it was pretty cool.
Speaking of your area, for yourself and Molly, that's a huge help having like world-class surfers right next to you, surfing the same waves as you. And what about your first early mentors and inspirations as far as pro surfers in your area?
I guess, to be honest, my first kind of mentors and inspiration, I'd say, was like my brothers and my dad. They always took me surfing, and we went everywhere together, like always down the beach, and I've got 3 brothers and we'd all go out in a little pack and get all the waves. And then like Russ Maloney and Shane Holmes are local guys that I've always looked up to and are great people who also surf super well, and I'm stoked to have them as like mentors that I can lean on and get some advice on every now and again, and just also become mates with them as well. Has been really cool, and just being able to hang out and just surf and have fun with them. It's pretty sick.
So it's you, your younger brother Huey, and then 2 older brothers.
Yeah, that's right. I got 2 older brothers. There's Zach is the eldest, and then Curtis, and then myself, then Huey.
What's the age difference between you all?
So Zach is 28, and then Curtis is 24, and then I'm 21, and Huey's 18.
And were you guys always close growing up, or were some good brotherly brotherly battles going on there too?
Yeah, definitely some good brotherly battles. Always get pretty angry in the surf when someone would snake you or something like that. But yeah, we're super close and we always hang out. And my oldest brother has a baby. She's just turned 1, and it's pretty cool having that new like person in the family, which is pretty sick. And yeah, we've all just been hanging out and hanging with her. It's been really cool.
Oh, congratulations. Uncle job now. Uncle Joel in between heats. Got to bring back presents. That's rule number 1 for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So with you guys all growing up together, let's just cut to the chase. This is what we want to know. 4 brothers, your local breaks as good as it gets. Who places first all the way to 4th?
Oh, I think it just goes down. At the start, it went down, like when we were younger, it probably went down like age-wise. But then as we got older, it probably shifted towards me and Huey up the line a bit more. And the older two, they're probably just at work, so they probably weren't even out there.
Oh, that'd be a good heat. I'd actually pay to watch that one go down.
Yeah, it'd be pretty sick. We haven't actually had a full brother heat for a while. I think we had one in a board riders, but yeah, not for a while.
Oh, they must be absolutely rapt that you're on tour. Someone we see all the time on the beach during comps is your dad. Tell us about his influence on your life and your career. Yeah,
well, Dad is like the big reason I started surfing. He was a lifeguard for 30 years, and I guess my mum and my brothers would all go down the beach to hang out with Dad on like the weekends or after school, and so we'd always just bring some boards and just end up going surfing. So, and then when we all got frothing on surfing, he'd take us out early before school. And yeah, Dad, he used to be a soccer player back in the day, but he's always surfed himself. So yeah, he just got us into it, and yeah, we've all loved it since.
Did you play any other sports too? Did you play soccer at all or anything else?
I played a bit of soccer and a bit of rugby league. My dad said I had 2 left feet playing soccer. Said I wasn't too good, so told me to stick to surfing.
Well, sounds like he's pretty honest with you with feedback. Is he the same way with surfing as well?
Yeah, he's super honest, and it's really good. He's always super honest to me and just tells me exactly how it is, and I think that's really good to have. Like, I can always trust him to give me his honest opinion, and it's something so special to be able to lean on him. And yeah, I'm stoked that he's come to all the events, and he's going to be at all the events next year as well. So,
oh, that's awesome. So your dad and who else? Are you bringing other coaching, or is it going to be you and Pops?
It's going to be me and Dad, and I'm also going to be working with Jay Thompson, Jay Bottle.
And you've been working with him a bit, so that's great.
Yeah. We I worked well with my dad and Bottle in Portugal last year, and the combination just worked really well. And Dad actually had to go home to do some stuff with Huey before Brazil, and Bottle came over to Brazil, and we worked together, and it worked well. So I'm frothing to be working with him next year, and yeah, just pretty excited. It's
cool when you look at a rookie class when you've got quite a lot of members, you've got Ed in there, you've got Jackson, we've got your good friend George, that's coming in hot as well. It's a really solid crew of 5 rookies, and you're one of them. Let's focus with George, because I think you know him very well. What's your relationship like with George Pitar, and how psyched are you to maybe get a heat with him in 2025?
Yeah, George and I are really good mates, and I think we actually competed against each other like in the under 14s for like the first time, and he used to always smoke me. I could never beat him in a heat, which would always like get on my nerves a little bit. But yeah, we've been hanging out recently, like the last few years. We've been on the Challenger series, and he's a great guy and a great surfer, and I look up to the way he surfs and the way he holds himself too, and I'm pretty stoked to be able to share the rookie season with him. And when I saw him qualify and got announced, I was so stoked for him, but it just made me want to just qualify even more, you know what I mean?
Because you know what, he qualified before you, right? Before you had actually finished in Saquarema. Same event, but he actually got the announcement right before you had that heat with Hiroto.
Yeah, that was a really cool day. I surfed my first heat of the day. I think it was around a 32, and I came in, and then the next heat they announced that George qualified, and I don't think he told many people. He just kind of told a few people, and everyone, like, those few people were around, and then they announced it, and there was just a lot of emotion, and it was just really cool to see, and I was very stoked for him, and see how much work and effort he puts into his surfing, and I think he really deserves it, and it was really cool. And then that kind of hype settled down, and I got off the beach, and there was a fair bit of time before that next heat, and I kind of realised that if I made that heat, I would have actually tied points with George. So, like, I hadn't been told that I'd qualify, but I'd kind of figured it out myself. So I was like, all right, I need to get off the beach and just go reset. So I just went back to my accommodation and watched some Netflix and just cruised, and that turned the surfing off from the TV, and just couldn't think of anything. Just set a couple of alarms on when to go down, and just had to check every now and again that it was still going. And but yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking, and I'm stoked the way that the day ended up.
I know you had some people there to celebrate with you, but who got the first phone call when you officially qualified?
Oh, I called Dad straight away. Yeah, he was up, and I called him and spoke to him, and he said that he hadn't slept for like 2 days. I think he was more nervous than me. I think he was just so excited and frothing, and then called the brothers, and I was pretty stoked.
All time. Well, congrats being on tour. You get to pick a jersey number. What's your number, and how did you come up with it?
My jersey number is going to be 68, and that's for the year that my mum was born. She actually passed away a few years ago, and I've actually got a tattoo on my chest from 1968, which is the year she was born, and my two older brothers have the same tattoo, but just in some different spots. And I actually wanted to make sure it was all right with all my brothers before I did it. And when I was speaking to Huey, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do that for sure. And if I make tour, I'll go 19, and then we can be 1968 together," which was pretty cool. So hopefully, maybe sometime down the line, we can both be on tour at the same time, and that'd be pretty cool.
Legendary. I love that. I've been loving watching your brand of surfing coming up. I think it's hard to get past that gigantic alley-oop you did for a perfect 10, but, kind of speaking in that aerial category, you've got a lot more weapons, from different grabs, rotations, big full roads, straight airs. It definitely brings, like, you're going to be spicing it up with all those airs and that big repertoire on tour. I'm sure you're frothing to release something real big as soon as you get the chance.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm really excited to go surf El Salvador. I've never actually been to the wave, but it looks like an amazing wave for airs, and being able to do airs in transition into some big combos. So that's something I'm really excited for, and I think it'll be somewhere I can hopefully bring my brand of surfing really well. But other than that, I'm actually really excited for pipe and hopefully get some big pumping barrels.
I guess, what kind of airs do you want to release on tour? And, thinking about what might score real well, since you can do some really technical rotations and grabs, what do you think the judges will be looking for? And does that match what you want to bring when you're in a heat?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like I just kind of just go with the flow a little bit. I don't really have like too much of intention. Like I have the intention to do airs, but just whatever comes to me, like at that point in time, whatever I'm feeling, just let it flow. And I'd love doing like stale fishes, so I'm pretty excited to maybe just pull some of them out and do something cool like that.
Would you say the stale fish should be the most rewarded? Is it the hardest grab to do, or is it just up to the individual surfer what can be the most difficult?
I guess how you can make it more difficult the more inverted you go, and like I guess like a flat stale fish isn't as good as like a really inverted slob. So I guess it's just all up to the air and how you do it and how you're feeling on the day, and yeah, how the judges interpret it as well, I guess.
You did mention you're frothing for pipe. Let's just talk about pipe. First event of the season. For some rookies, it's just kind of a wake-up call. For some, they thrive in that being the season opener. Where do you fit into that with your excitement? And what are you hoping the waves are like when you show up at pipe to make your debut?
Oh, I obviously hope it's pumping. I hope it's just 6 to 8 foot, and just perfect barrels and the pipe that you just envision. And like seeing Kelly back in the day just pumping through some big backdoor barrels, like yeah, just the stuff I grew up watching, and I'm pretty excited for it, to be honest. Just about to go pick up some boards for the event from DH, and yeah, it's all kind of starting to sink in, and I'm getting really excited. So I'm going to head over nice and early and get some prep in, and yeah, getting pretty pumped.
Have you spent a ton of time out there in the water?
Yeah, I guess I've spent a lot of time out there. I haven't caught many waves though. I usually just, yeah, when I've been there the last few years, I kind of just paddle out nice and early if there's some waves, and kind of just get to watch it, and then end up just going down off the wall just to get some waves. But
it's not your normal prep for an event, you know, when the crowd's really thick, you know, there's a strong pecking order, and everyone's trying to practice too right along with you. So I'm sure those observation sessions actually paid off for sure.
Yeah, definitely. There's that big pecking order, and you just got to respect all the locals and all the guys that put all their time in over there, and yeah, so I'm just excited to maybe get a couple heats with no one out, and hopefully get some good waves.
Epic, Joel. We have been trying to get a hold of you for a while, and then I just finally figured out what you've been up to. A couple of laps to Abu Dhabi and back to get all prepped for stop number 2 of the season. A lot of people haven't even been there yet. Tell us what the waves like, what the sections are like, and how you feel in that prep work.
Yeah, so the first lap I did with, I actually did it with George and Liam, and on my third wave, the board flipped over, and my fin sliced my hand open, and I ended up with like going straight to hospital that day, and had 7 stitches, and then I was speaking to Mitch Cruz, who works over there, and he said that Molly was coming over, and so I messaged Molly straight away and saw if wanted to know if she was coming with anyone, and she was doing it by herself. So I just lined up to go back over with her, and which I just actually got back from, and that was actually my first surf back, was back in the pool. I was able to surf back at home before, but there were no waves, so I couldn't even go surf. But yeah, when I got back, the waves are amazing. It's like ridiculous. It's so much fun. Like every single time the wave comes by, you just shocked on how perfect and how cool the wave is, and it's just kind of surreal, I guess. Just like being there and seeing the city of Abu Dhabi in the background, and the sand and the desert, and then there's just this absolutely perfect waves. It's pretty cool.
Must be a wild thing where you could kind of relate to a skateboarder or a snowboarder for the first time, where you could kind of pre-plan what you want to do. You know, surfers aren't really used to that.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, to be honest. Like, I was going there and writing notes on what I want to do and how I want to do it, and it just felt kind of weird. But I don't know, at the same time, you still have to be pretty, like, you can't really be too set on that one line, I guess. You got to be adaptive, and sometimes the lip just crumbles a little bit because the different direction of the wind or something like that, or you might have a little catch somewhere and it just throws the line off. So you got to be really adaptive still, and that's why I kind of like surfing the most. Just like those little bits that you can't predict, and it's just all in the moment and just being really reactive.
Love that. You mentioned getting boards from Darren Hanley, one of the best shapers in the world, famous for making boards for Steph Gilmore, Mick Fanning, and so many more. Pretty great squad to be on. One thing I always hear about when you're on the team, you've got to pack boxes, you've got to do deliveries. Has he forced you to put in some hard work and labor to earn that equipment yet?
No, not yet. I think I've been pretty lucky. I got asked to, but I was away, actually. I was away.
You're good at that little away sign. I like that. You know how to take your time off, right?
Yeah. Nah, he's pretty good. He gets me in the shaping bay a fair bit, which is cool. Just shows me exactly what he's doing and how different things work, and it's really cool to just see all that knowledge just kind of going into that one board, and how special you can they all kind of come out, and yeah, it's pretty sick just to like feed off his knowledge and understand surfboards a little bit better each time.
How are you with feedback? Is it constant with him? Is it as soon as you get out of the water, you're texting him, calling him, and making little changes that you need, or do you kind of wait and do it all at once?
I kind of just like to ride my boards a little bit before I give it feedback. I like to just really see how it feels in different conditions and get a really good understanding of each different board. And I usually just, before I order another batch of boards, I'll kind of come up the coast and sit down with him and talk to him and tell him how the boards felt and how I want them to feel. And they're usually all pretty good though, so don't have to adjust too much.
How cool is that when you have a shaper that's built quivers from start to finish of an entire season so many times over? When you start planning your rookie year, you know he's probably thinking a little bit further ahead than yourself on what you might need at locations and how many boards that you're going to require. Do you know what that number is going to look like in this rookie season of how many surfboards you might end up getting?
No, to be honest, I haven't even really thought about it. I've just been thinking about some pipe quiver and some boards for Abu Dhabi, but I haven't really put a number to how many boards I need for the whole season yet. I'm sure it'll probably be a fair few.
Let's break down the pipe quiver then. What are you going to be bringing?
I think to be honest, I haven't picked them all up yet. I think I'm taking 6.0s, a couple 6.2s, 6.4s, 6.6s, and 6.8s.
Nice. And then for Abu Dhabi, are you making a completely different quiver that you wouldn't ride in the ocean, or is it pretty similar since it's saltwater out there as well?
Yeah, I'm just kind of just riding whatever feels good. I just ride my normal shortboard and just a little bit more drive in the boards, just because the waves kind of got power at a different spot, so need that drive and hold from the bottom of the wave, and yeah, that's kind of about it. Not too many adjustments, just little subtle things, but just riding my shortboards over there really.
What's your vibe like in the ocean, and do you ever talk trash to your competitor? Do you ever try to like lean in a little bit and gain an edge even before the heat starts?
To be honest, I haven't really done that too much. I just kind of like to control what I can control and go out and just surf the way I want to surf, and kind of let that do like just control the way I surf and where I sit, and not really let the other competitors get in my head or anything. But it was actually quite funny. I think it was at the start of this year. I had like this heat against Parko at Snapper for one of these board riders events, and he was trying to call me into the worst waves. And he was just going, yeah, go Joel, go. And I was going, mate, I know what a good one looks like, and that's not it. And then And then this one came through and I had priority, and I think it was a good one. I was like, oh, you reckon I should go? And he was like, no. And then I went anyway and ended up getting a good score. And but that was a pretty cool thing. I first like heat against Parko, and he was just like trying to get in my head, and I guess that's probably what it was like back in the day.
Oh, I love it, especially from Parko. That's just so classic. Which kind of leads me into this question with Parko being a great Australian world champ, Mick Fanning's legacy, one of the all-time greats with 3 world titles. You know, living in the area of the Brazilian Storm, and it's really been John fitting it in outside of Brazil. Is your generation starting to feel pressure to bring a world title back to Oz?
Oh, I'm not sure if I'd say it's pressure, but I think we're just frothing to. We're just excited and really determined, I guess, to bring some sort of a world title back to Australia. We've seen Molly and Tyler over the last few years been in the women's side, and then Jack and Ethan be in the finals, and they've been all super close. But yeah, it'd be pretty cool to see another Australian bring a world title back pretty soon.
What are you excited to bring to the tour? You know, if you look back at your season, you know, the type of surfing that you want to release in a heat, you know, what does that look like?
I guess it's just attacking big sections, whether it be doing a big carve or a big snap or a big air. Just putting 100% commitment behind everything and just trying my best. It's kind of just what I want to lean towards, and just focus on my own surfing and knowing my capabilities and just leaning right into it. And yeah, I think I'd be pretty excited to bring some big airs into events. I know that it's quite hard sometimes. The conditions don't suit it, so you got to be pretty adaptable, and yeah, just bring some big surfing would be pretty cool.
Awesome. We get to see a lot of your younger brother, you know, Huey, who's been ripping, following in your footsteps. It looks like quite a character as well. How would you describe your younger brother's personality?
Huey's cheeky. He's fun. He's very funny. And he's a great kid. He's very kind and giving, and but yeah, I definitely lean onto that cheeky. He's a bit of a rat bag, Huey, but he's great to be around. You're always laughing and having a good time when he's there, and yeah, he's just great. I'm stoked that I've been able to grow up with Huey and watch him grow as a person and as a surfer as well, and he's surfing incredibly at the moment, and yeah, it's pretty cool to see as an older brother as well.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully we get to see a couple of Vaughans on tour together. That's been a common theme, just brotherly pairs on tour together at the same time. We're getting to enjoy that, you know, with the Pupo brothers, the Colapintos.
Yeah.
But we've had a lot in history. Do you guys thrive off a great brotherly pair in history? Do you have an all-time favorite that we had on tour, either in the past or present?
I'm not too sure about Huey, but when Andy and Bruce were on tour, that was pretty cool. But it's also amazing to watch Crosby and Griffin on tour at the moment. They're pushing each other so much, and you can see the way that Crosby pushes Griffin to be better, and the way that Griffin kind of guides Crosby and helps him out to become better as well. So it's just like a continuous growth of better surfers. So it's pretty cool.
Joel Vaughan, it's been an absolute pleasure catching up with you. I know you're extremely busy preparing for your rookie debut. Best of luck, best of waves, and hey, in the booth, it's always an open door. Come chat with us anytime, and let's talk surf, my friend. Yeah, all the best.
Sounds good. Thanks heaps. Thanks for having me.